Okay, so we are going to go through scraping a website for some data. So this website is called Charter Hub. Now it looks like a list of, I'm here with Christopher from the foundation. We're just going through this together. So Chris, this is what is this exactly? This is a list of what?
It's a list of specific aircraft available for charter flights. So that's private rentals.
Private rentals of aircraft. Okay, gotcha. So this is the main this is the main page. You've done some filtering already, have you? Or this is just?
Yeah, these are all the listings in the United States, and the information I'm specifically looking for, not the aircraft themselves, but the companies who are doing this. So you can see there that the top right, Pentastar Aviation is the company name.
And you got the phone number.
Phone number, and it doesn't look like they have websites available, but if you click on View Details, there are also
this one here.
Contact information. Unfortunately, that email is a form submission button, and it's not an actual email address.
Okay.
But yeah, just getting the company names would be helpful.
So getting basically this is not the company name. This is the aircraft.
That's the aircraft.
And then on this page, do we have the company name?
Yeah. So bold right there, Pentastar Aviation.
Pentastar. This one here.
And then yeah, so that the city would be good, and then the phone number.
Okay, let me just sort out my
city and the phone number and contact.
Okay, so one of the things I found with a lot of data scraping tools is they rely on HTML. So if the site's got bad HTML, it's a bit more difficult to scrape that data. Okay, but this looks like they've done a pretty not too bad of a job. So we'll definitely be able to get this data out. If we go back, I just want to see how they do the page pagination, because I noticed this is one page of 76. Is there a way that we can display all of them at the same time? Or you just have to press next, next, next each time? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so what I would do is I'd use this tool called import.io over here, and I would click on new, and I would click on the extractor. I would copy this URL and I'd paste it into import.io. Now, there are some sites where if you use too much JavaScript, if the site's using lots of JavaScript to filter out data, it sometimes gets a bit screwy, but we'll see. Okay, so the page is loading. It's a bit slow, but if we turn that button on the top left on, we go into a pick data mode. So this allows us to start selecting the data. Because the actual data, all the data we want to get is on the page that you click on. So
it's actually not. It's, all the data
is here. Is on this one listing page, is it?
Yeah.
What about the contact name?
The only thing that it doesn't have is a contact name.
Do you want that or not?
I would like it, but if it's a lot more difficult in order to get it, then it's not worth it in my mind. But if you know how to do it easily, then yeah, that'd be great.
Well, let's go through it. Let's see. Okay, so what I would do is we need to get a list of the URLs that these links, this summary page, we need to link the URLs of the details page for each one of these entries. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the URL of each one of the aircrafts. So I just click on that link. Import.io is going to say, is it just one row or is it many rows? In this example, I want many rows. I want all of those links on that page. So I click on many. And what that does then, it gives me a list of those URLs. You with me so far?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So what I would do is I would press done, and I would save that API. You need to save it. So I would save this as jet charters, and I would call it list, jet charters list, and then I publish that. So then what I do?
Yeah, this is already where I was going wrong.
Okay, extractor was not published. Our server could not find any data. Oh dear, what does this mean? Okay, let's go back here again. Let's delete that. I don't know what that error was, but let's try clicking on the other link. Let's try clicking on this link. View details, you said, right?
Yes.
And let's just double check that's a URL as opposed to some JavaScript. Yeah. So if I turn okay. Click that. Doing something or what? Add column, new column. This is so slow, dude. Sorry about this.
That's right.
Okay. Let's see if that works. I mean, at the end of the day, it's got a URL into it, so that what you see there doesn't matter too much. It's the link behind it. Let's try this. Let's try publishing this. So basically, this first process, the reason why I'm doing this is to get a list of those URLs, right?
Okay.
Because what we're going to do now is we're going to go into this. We're going to go into this page, this main details page, and I'm going to copy that. I'm going to copy that URL, and I'm going to make do another extractor. But this time, instead of doing the multiple row, I'm going to do a single row. You'll see it come together here, which was one of the main problems that I had when I was using these Chrome tools. It was a bit difficult to set up the pages, the details pages. New extractor.
Yeah, I think the issue that one of the issues I was running into is I was trying to do them all in one API.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
As opposed to publishing that first one that you did.
Yes.
So even though each of these, the URLs are going to be different for each of them?
Yeah, that was basically what you saw was a bit of HTML, but behind that HTML, the link would have been a link to the details pages for each one of those. Well, that's what should have happened. Let's see. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So I would, now we're on the details page. I want to basically tag all the information on here. I want to tag the information we want. So I'm going to turn this thing on again. And what's the first thing we want is probably the company name. So the company name is here. I'll select that. And it will say we want just one row because there's only one, for this particular page, we just want one row of data. Yeah. there is a better way of explaining this. It's a bit late, and my brain's a bit frazzled. But each oh, you'll see it come together. Let me kind of rename this for company name, and then we want new column. And let's add a new column, and we'll call this one. What's the next bit of data you want? So you want the phone number. So let's get phone, and we select the phone number. Now that puts the phone number in, and the next bit of data that we want is what do you want? Do you want the aircraft name or?
Sure. Yeah, may as well.
Aircraft name. Aircraft name, and then what else do we want? Do we want the?
I'll take the charter amount. Yeah, hourly charter.
Hourly charter, and then you said you wanted the contact details.
Yeah.
Contact details. Oh, that's so inconsistent. Okay, and then is that it?
Do we get the address?
You haven't got the address, but you've got the location. Do you want that?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Location.
Yeah. Okay, so add another column. Let's call it location, and select the location. This would have probably been a better field to select from because it looks like it's in a table, whereas that is just in a bunch of divs. So, well, let's see. No, you know what? I'm going to keep it the same and select it from that area there. Okay, so that's done. Yeah, so we select that as done, and I'm going to call this jet charter single, and I'm going to publish that.
Is there a limit on the number of pages that you can view with import IO?
It just gets really slow, and I've taken it up to 3,000 records, and then it crashes. Wow. So yeah, it does about 3,000. So okay, so now we're on this single page. What we do is it's asking you, how do you want to use this API? Single URL, and what we want to do is select that. And we want to say URLs from another API, and the other API that we're going to select is the jet charter list. And then hopefully it's got a list of those URLs, which it has. And then what we do, so these are the list. So these are the URLs that were in the first API. Yeah. So you know that view details. Behind that view details, this was the link that it goes to.
Right.
Right. So these are the links of all the aircrafts that are available.
So that's the first 25.
First 25, yeah. And then we click on run query. And then what that should do is hook them all up. It should get the data for each of those rows. Now, obviously, you can see there's some blanks here, and that blanks is probably because either they haven't got that data, or that data's in a different. Yeah, basically that data's not there for those particular pages. Or it might be, if it's kind of like a free-form text in their CMS, they might have put it in a different order, which is why you don't see it. Okay. Possibly. But that out of the box, is that helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So that's how you get one page of results. The next thing I would do in this process is then figure out how I'm going to get all 76 pages. The first thing I'd look for is most websites or most kind of searches, they'll have a limit of how many results they see per page. And I'll try to look for I'd try to look for something in the URL that might indicate that. I don't know what DST is. What is DST? DST10. What is that? I don't know what that is. But you said there's 25 results here, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 25 results. Okay. So what I would do, I'd basically click on the next page and then see what the URL structure looks like. Let me just copy this so I can compare. Okay, so let me just get up a notepad screen. Oh. Okay, so that was the original URL, and this is page 2's URL. So it looks like only page 2 is different, right? So the really hacky way to do this, and it's embarrassing, but it will probably be quicker than, well, I'm sure there's quicker ways to do this, but this is the quickest way I can think of doing it. So what I would do, I'd just basically copy and paste this one link. Oh, my computer's running so slow right now. And I just kind of rename 2 with 3 all the way up to 76. So you've got all those URLs. Can you see what I've done there? So,
Yep.
So I've got page 2, I've got page 3, and I'd do that all the way to 76.
Okay.
And then I'd copy and paste those URLs. I'd copy and paste all those URLs all the way up to 76. And with the original data set, with the list, you can also here, you can do single URL or bulk extract. I'd click on the bulk extract and I'd paste all of those 76 URLs in here.
I see.
And then I'd run that query. That query would then get me the whole list. All right, so not just the 25, the whole list.
Right.
All right, so let's test this. Okay, so I'll just do 3 and you can do the rest, right? So I'd run that query, and let me just get the first page up there so we've got it all in one place. So that should give us, what, 75 records. Let's see. $75 records. And then we can, so that's done, that's the data done. Then we could either export that into a spreadsheet or something, or we could reuse that, which is what we need to do, import.io dataset. In fact, I don't think we even needed to do this stage. Let's see. I think we could have just rerun that original second query.
Okay.
Let's see. But yes, this has got it all down here. That's fine. 75, perfect. So what I would do then, I'd go back to this data set again, and let's see if that happens. What, do I need to refresh this? List results data set. Yeah, no, that's the way to do it. Okay, so now we should have 75. Then we run this query again, and now we should see 75 records instead of 25. Did you see all that? Did that make sense?
Yeah, it did. It did. Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
Do you need to have a premium account or anything to...
This tool is free right now.
Okay.
This is very good. Well, I think it's quite powerful. It's a bit slow, but the guys have done behind it have done a good job. They've made something very complex, made it a little bit simpler. Alright, so let's go down this list. Okay, it's still loading. Oh, it's doing 44. It's done 44 out of 75 right now. And then what you can do from here is you just export that list into Excel. and then import it up to your Google spreadsheets,
Right.
and then give it to your VA to fill in the blanks. Get that email address.
Awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much for going through this.
No problems, man. Have you got any other questions I can help you with?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I had an issue where, so I was able to do it for 25 using the Magic tool, not nearly as complicated as you just showed me there, and it limited my number of downloads to 5 pages of records or something like that. So, but I'm gonna try it this way and see if, because obviously it worked just now.
Excellent. Okay, cool, dude. Well, I'll kind of push this up. I'll put this recording up on up somewhere so you can
Yeah.
check it out again.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No problems, man. But if you get stuck, give me a shout.
Yeah, we'll do.
Cool, dude. Yeah, and it's been good talking, man. Let's keep in touch.